abundance. He circulated wealth not to boast, but to demonstrate law. And the law, being perfect, responded with even greater abundance. The poor cling because they distrust the law. They believe that what leaves their hand is lost forever, not knowing that circulation is the very proof of life. A clenched fist cannot receive. The man who withholds his energy from the flow of good shuts himself from the channel through which all good returns. You must therefore learn to give in spirit before you can receive in form. Giving is not always coin. It is attention, kindness, encouragement, faith. When you bless others with thought and word, you send vibrations of prosperity through the unseen. And since all energy moves in circles, it must complete its return. Say inwardly, I give joyfully, for I live in infinite supply. Feel the release that comes when fear lets go of its grip. That release is the opening of new channels. You will begin to notice opportunities appearing, not forced, not sought, but drawn by the law of reciprocity. Every great law of life is a mirror of the creative mind itself. Infinite intelligence gives continually. It asks for nothing, yet receives everything. The sun gives light and is never diminished. The earth gives fruit and multiplies through the very act of giving. The ocean gives rain to the sky and gains back the river. If you wish to live prosperously, you must copy the pattern of creation, circulation, not stagnation. A man once came to me complaining that he could not hold money. It slips through my hands, he said. Every time I earn more, I lose more. I asked him how he spoke of money. He confessed that he often said, I can't keep it. I told him, then you are commanding the law to obey that belief. I taught him instead to say, money flows to me and through me in ever-increasing measure. I am a wise channel of circulation. He began to repeat these words daily, but more importantly, he began to live by them. He started giving small gifts where once he would have withheld. He paid his debts cheerfully. He thanked money each time it entered or left his hands. Within a year, his income had doubled, and his worry had vanished. He had learned to work with the current instead of against it. Money, you see, is alive. It has intelligence because it is part of the universal mind's movement. It obeys the vibration of your thought. Speak kindly to it, and it will stay. Respect it, and it will multiply. Use it with purpose, and it will serve. But scorn it, fear it, or hoard it, and it will flee. Never say, I can't afford to give. Say instead, I give because I trust the law of return. For the man who gives when it seems he cannot proves that his faith is greater than his circumstance. That faith is magnetic. It draws new avenues of increase. You cannot outgive the infinite, for the infinite has no limit. There is also a higher form of giving, silent giving. It is not the gift announced with pride, but the quiet act that no one sees. Silent giving is purest because it has no motive but gratitude. The universe recognizes sincerity and multiplies it. You may think no one knows, but infinite intelligence knows, and its record is exact. When you give in secret, you free yourself from vanity and fear. You remind the subconscious that you are a channel, not a container. Containers overflow and stagnate. Channels flow forever. Say softly to yourself, circulation is creation. I withhold nothing from good. Let these words reshape your relationship with money, with time, with service. Whatever you release in faith becomes seed. Whatever you hoard in fear becomes stone. Consider again the rhythm of breathing. You cannot inhale without exhaling. The man who tries to hold his breath in fear of losing it soon suffocates. So too does the man who hoards his goods suffocate the flow of increase. He calls it prudence, but it is paralysis. True prudence is wisdom guided by law, not fear disguised as caution. John D. Rockefeller mastered this principle early. He kept detailed accounts of every dollar earned and given. He circulated wealth through contribution and discipline, not sentimentality. His giving was organized, his faith unwavering. That is why his fortune grew even through crisis. He had built a perfect system of exchange. When you give with joy, not with reluctance. The spirit in which you give determines the measure of return. A grudging gift carries the vibration of loss. A joyful gift carries the vibration of increase. The universe does not multiply sadness, it multiplies enthusiasm. To give grudgingly is to pay. To give gladly is to prosper. The subconscious measures your emotion, not the amount. $1 given in gratitude attracts more than 1,000 given in fear. You must also learn the second half of circulation, receiving. Many men can give but cannot receive. They feel unworthy of good, embarrassed by abundance, uneasy when praised or helped. They block the return half of the cycle. To receive graciously is as divine as to give. It acknowledges that law has worked and that gratitude completes the circuit. Say inwardly, I am open to receive all that infinite intelligence sends. Every good I give returns multiplied through perfect channels. Feel no guilt in increase. You cannot help others by starving yourself of power. The candle that lights another loses nothing of its flame. Let us speak of gratitude, for it is the highest currency. Gratitude is invisible giving. It circulates instantly through the unseen. The moment you give thanks, you have given energy to the universe, and it must return in kind. Gratitude is faith made audible. It is proof that you trust the law even before you see the result. When you say, I am grateful, you are really saying, I already possess. Gratitude is the language of possession, not desire. The man who desires confesses absence. The man who is grateful affirms presence. To live in gratitude is to live as though the law has already fulfilled its promise, and that assumption compels fulfillment. Therefore, each morning before you set your hand to work, thank the invisible forces that move for your good. Say, I am thankful that prosperity circulates through me freely. I am blessed to give and worthy to receive. Speak it once, feel it deeply, and your entire day will adjust to match its vibration. You will notice changes. People will begin to offer help unexpectedly. Opportunities will seem to appear from nowhere. Resources will align themselves to your needs. This is not chance. It is circulation. You have activated law through feeling. Do not be misled by appearances. When you release something, a payment, a gift, an act of service, it may seem to leave you, but the law of invisible exchange never allows loss. It merely changes its form and begins its return. The cycle cannot be broken except by fear, and fear has no power except what you give it. Fear says, if I give, I will have less. Faith says, because I give, I will have more. The two cannot dwell together. You must choose one. Every act of generosity strengthens faith. Every act of withholding strengthens fear. Choose daily which master you serve. If you wish to grow richer, increase the good you circulate. Speak kindly more often. Lend encouragement freely. Share ideas without jealousy. Recommend others' success. Send blessings in thought to those who prosper, for their increase proves law. What you wish for them, you claim for yourself. Never envy the rich. Envy poisons circulation. To resent another's fortune is to tell the law that wealth is displeasing to you, and the law will obey by withholding it. Instead, bless the rich and study how they think. The universe rewards not persons, but principles. What they obey, you can obey. Say within, I rejoice in the prosperity of others, for it proves that wealth is plentiful. My good multiplies through their success. You will feel a strange freedom as jealousy dissolves. That freedom is faith expanding. You have aligned with the law of increase instead of resisting it. Do not confuse extravagance with generosity. Extravagance is waste born of vanity. Generosity is wisdom guided by purpose. Give to build, not to impress. Every dollar should move through you with direction, not disorder. The man who throws money to appear great declares inward poverty. The man who gives to advance good declares mastery. The habit of circulation transforms character. You will become cheerful where you were anxious, open where you were guarded, free where you were afraid. You will begin to feel that life itself is friendly, that every loss is merely an exchange for something better. You will stop grasping and start creating. Repeat quietly, I trust the law of return, for I live in infinite supply. I give joyfully, I receive gratefully, I circulate wisely. These words are a covenant between you and infinite intelligence. Keep them daily and abundance will keep you. When you pay bills, pay them gladly. Each payment affirms your ability to meet obligation, and that affirmation draws more supply. Say as you write each check or part with each coin, I send this out in joy, knowing it returns multiplied. You will begin to notice your resources replenishing in unexpected ways. The man who blesses his payments never lacks. The one who curses them always does. For every word carries vibration, and vibration organizes matter. Speak blessing, and law aligns with you. Henry Ford once said, if you think of money as something to be earned, you will always struggle. If you think of it as something to circulate, you will always have it. He understood that movement is the sign of life. His fortune flowed because he never dammed the current. Let this law guide your relationships as well. Give appreciation where it is due. Give patience to those who err. Give encouragement to those who struggle. Each act sends invisible waves that return multiplied through unexpected channels. Prosperity is not confined to coins. It is a state of exchange between you and the world. As you practice this, you will notice how others begin to respond. They will trust you, prefer you, assist you, and recommend you. The world rewards those who contribute without counting. People sense the vibration of generosity as surely as they sense warmth from the sun. By circulating good, you become the center of a growing web of prosperity. You will attract allies, opportunities, and goodwill wherever you go. The more you circulate, the larger your orbit of influence. This is not magic. It is mathematics of vibration. Now, as this law settles deeper into your consciousness, say inwardly, I am a perfect instrument of circulation. Prosperity flows through me freely. What I give returns multiplied. My gratitude keeps the channel clear. Hold these words before sleep, and your subconscious will continue their rhythm through the night. It will organize new ways for this circulation to manifest, new contacts, new inspiration, new ideas. When you awaken, you will feel lighter, freer, more certain. Remember this, wealth is never static. It is the movement of organized thought through the medium of law. The moment you hoard thought, hoard love, or hoard energy, you lose it. The moment you circulate them, they return magnified. Therefore, live as the law lives, by motion, by faith, by generosity. Let every thought, every coin, every word flow outward in confidence that the circle always completes. For it does, it must. That is law. And each time you give, whisper silently, "This too will return to me, multiplied and refined." Then forget it. Do not count the return. Let the law count it for you. It is more accurate than arithmetic. One day you will look back and see that everything you ever gave, time, thought, service, or faith, has returned 100-fold. You will realize that you never truly lost anything. You merely sent it ahead to prepare your future. When that understanding becomes part of your being, you will fear nothing, for nothing essential can be taken from one who circulates with love. You will no longer clutch life. You will cooperate with it. You will live as infinite intelligence lives, freely, joyfully, endlessly giving, endlessly receiving. And when that day comes, you will say quietly, "Circulation is creation. I withhold nothing from good. I give, and therefore I grow. I receive, and therefore I serve. I trust the law of return, for I live in infinite supply." Then you will smile, for you will have learned the true secret of prosperity, that abundance is not stored, it is shared. And in that sharing, you will find that your wealth, like the universe itself, has no end. Part 5. The mirror of belief. How others reflect your inner state. Everything you meet in this world is yourself reflected through the faces of others. Life is a mirror, exact, unfeeling, perfectly just. It never gives you what you want. It gives you what you are. This is one of the hardest truths to accept, for it leaves no one to blame, nowhere to hide, and no excuse to keep. But it is also the greatest revelation you can ever receive, because once you understand it, you hold the master key to destiny. The world does not see you as you are in body, but as you are in belief. If you believe yourself small, life will keep you surrounded by limitation. If you believe yourself unworthy, people will forget your name, overlook your efforts, and confirm your doubt. But if you believe yourself strong, able, guided, and deserving, men and events will rise to meet your conviction. The outer world always bows to inner law. Each man carries within him a silent broadcast of his own belief. Without realizing it, he sends out vibrations that announce his estimate of himself. These vibrations draw to him others of the same nature. The timid attract the bold who dominate them. The indecisive attract the willful who use them. The self-respecting attract those who treat them with respect. It is not chance. It is reflection. When you meet a man who irritates you, you are not seeing him. You are seeing a hidden weakness in yourself mirrored back for correction. When you meet one who inspires you, you are not seeing him either. You are seeing a sleeping greatness within you awakening to recognition. Every relationship is a message from your own consciousness. You must therefore cease asking, "Why do they treat me so?" and begin asking, "What belief within me allowed this?" For until you change the inner image, the outer reflection will persist. The man who seeks to alter circumstance without altering belief is like one who strikes the mirror and expects his face to change. The law that governs this is the law of reflection. It is one of the oldest and most exact principles of success. It states that every person, condition, and event in your life is a projection of your dominant mental attitude. You are both the artist and the painting, both the architect and the house. The mind, being creative, must build in form the ideas it accepts as true. Say softly within yourself, "The world reflects my faith in myself." Feel those words rather than think them. They are not philosophy. They are mathematics. Life cannot contradict your vibration. When you expect rejection, you will find it. When you expect respect, you will receive it. The great tragedy of mankind is that most men live unaware of this law. They wander through life blaming others, fate, or circumstance, never realizing that every insult, every delay, every failure, every kindness, every success is the echo of their own thought. They run from shadow to shadow, while the light that casts it remains unchanged within. You must take complete possession of this truth. All change begins inwardly. If you wish to alter how the world treats you, first alter how you treat yourself. When you think ill of yourself, you instruct the universe to confirm it. When you criticize your own worth, you invite others to join you. But when you walk in quiet dignity, with the calm conviction that you are guided by infinite intelligence, life salutes you as a general salutes rank. George Washington possessed this dignity. He was not loud, he was not boastful, yet men followed him through hunger, despair, and cold. Why? Because his belief in purpose was so deep that it impressed itself upon the hearts of others. His soldiers mirrored his faith. His calm under hardship became their courage. The secret of leadership is self-mastery expressed outwardly through poise. When your inner world is orderly, your outer world must reflect that order. There is no exception. You may disguise insecurity with fine clothes or loud talk, but the vibration of fear will always betray you. The eye sees only the shell. The spirit senses the tone beneath. People feel what you think long before you speak. The subconscious of one man communicates silently with the subconscious of another. That is why confidence commands without words, and why doubt invites rejection even when the mouth smiles. Say quietly within, "I radiate confidence, and the world feels it." Do not wait to feel confident before you act confident. Act first, and the feeling will follow. The body is the servant of thought. It will adjust itself to your inner command. Straighten your posture. Lift your head. Breathe deeply. These are physical affirmations of belief, and they transmit invisible signals of worth. A man once asked me, "How can I make people respect me?" I told him, "By first respecting yourself." Respect is not demanded, it is projected. You cannot receive what you do not first give. Begin by speaking of yourself as capable, decisive, and intelligent. Cease using the language of apology. Stop telling others how hard life is. Tell yourself how capable you are to master it. If you believe yourself a victim, you will meet persecutors. If you believe yourself a creator, you will meet allies. If you believe life owes you nothing but offers everything to faith, you will begin to see opportunity in every direction. The world mirrors not your hopes, but your convictions. Say softly, "I think well of others, and they think well of me." This affirmation aligns you with the law of reflection in its highest form. It teaches that to change another's attitude, you must first alter your own. You cannot draw goodwill from others while sending out irritation. What you release returns. If you wish for more kindness, increase your kindness. If you desire loyalty, become loyal. If you seek love, embody it. The mind is a mirror that first reflects inward before it reflects outward. You must cleanse it daily of the dust of resentment, fear, and complaint. Every negative thought is a smudge upon the glass of your consciousness. You cannot see clearly through it, nor can the world see clearly into you. Each morning, polish the mirror of your mind with gratitude and affirmation. Repeat quietly, I am worthy of respect and goodness. I attract what I believe. The world is my reflection of faith. As you say these words, notice how your heart softens, your face relaxes, and your spirit grows calm. That calmness itself begins to change how others see you. Do not wait for the world to change before believing in yourself. That is like waiting for the mirror to smile before you do. The mirror obeys the face. Life obeys belief. Begin now to see yourself as the man you intend to become, and life will begin to reshape itself to your image. I have watched men who once were timid, overlooked, and unnoticed rise to prominence merely by altering their self-image. One man came to me, shy and apologetic. He could not sell, could not persuade, could not lead. I told him to spend each night before sleep saying aloud, I am confident, I am guided, I am calm, I am respected. At first he said it mechanically, without faith. But after several weeks, he began to feel the tone of his own voice change. Soon his posture changed. His eyes brightened. His handshake grew firm. Others began to treat him differently because he was no longer the same reflection. Within a year, he was leading a team and earning more than he had ever imagined. Nothing outside him changed, only his belief. There is no force in the world more magnetic than a man who quietly knows his worth. You cannot fake this power. You must earn it through discipline of thought. The weak seek validation from others. The strong grant it to themselves. The world treats you as you train it to treat you. Say within, respect flows to me because I respect the law. This affirmation reminds you that your dignity is not vanity, it is obedience. The universe is a hierarchy of law. When you live according to principle, your life gains authority. People trust those who are self-governed because law recognizes law. When others speak ill of you, do not fight to defend yourself. Their words cannot harm the truth of who you are. Reflection does not change reality. It only reveals perception. The more you fight a false image, the more energy you give it. Simply hold your peace and allow time to correct misunderstanding. The calm man always wins, for time fights on his side. Every emotion you express is a message to the universe about how you see yourself. Anger says, I am weak. Jealousy says, I am lacking. Envy says, I am small. Gratitude says, I am rich. Peace says, I am secure. Every vibration returns multiplied. You cannot express weakness and attract strength. Therefore, discipline your inner tone. The next time you find yourself irritated by another, pause and ask, what in me is being shown for correction? In that moment, you transform judgment into wisdom. You stop reacting and begin refining. Soon you will find that the very people who once disturbed you have lost their power to do so. They have changed because you have changed. Abraham Lincoln practiced this discipline. When insulted or betrayed, he would write letters he never sent. He released the emotion privately, refusing to let bitterness stain his leadership. His control of self shaped a nation. The calm of his belief reflected peace across millions. You too can learn this mastery. Each time you feel slighted, repeat inwardly, I am unmoved, for I know my worth. I respond only to truth. These words restore rhythm to your mind. The emotional storm passes, and you stand again in the light of composure. The reflection of your belief does not stop with people. It extends to circumstance. The man who believes that the world is hostile will find obstacles at every corner. The man who believes that infinite intelligence is friendly to his aims will find find doors opening where there were none. Both are right, for both are living their belief. I have often said, you cannot escape yourself. You may change cities, partners, jobs, or fortune, but you will meet yourself in every new setting until you decide to change the image you carry within. The law will follow you until you obey it. The mirror never lies, but it always forgives. The first step in changing the reflection is gratitude. Thank life for what it shows you, even the unpleasant parts. Say within, I am grateful for every reflection, for it teaches me who I am becoming. This thought transforms pain into progress. Gratitude cleans the mirror. The second step is imagination. Begin to see yourself not as the world has treated you, but as infinite intelligence created you. Picture yourself walking with confidence, speaking with clarity, thinking with precision. Feel the power of that image. Hold it before sleep each night, for the subconscious builds its reflection while you rest. The third step is repetition. You cannot alter an old reflection with one affirmation. The image must be repainted daily. Each morning declare, I am a man of calm faith and magnetic confidence. My world respects my belief. Each night before sleep, reaffirm it. Soon others will begin to act accordingly, though they may not know why. The fourth step is forgiveness. You cannot change your reflection while holding anger. The mirror of life cannot show beauty through the fog of resentment. Forgive others, not to excuse them, but to free yourself. When you release them, you release the energy that binds you to the past. Say inwardly, I free all others, and I am free. I hold no judgment, for law corrects all things. These words restore clarity to your mirror. The world will begin to reflect peace instead of conflict, cooperation instead of competition. The final step is persistence. Continue to live as though the new reflection were already established. Do not revert to the old image at the first sign of doubt. The mirror may take time to adjust, but it always obeys the last dominant picture. Keep faith steady until life catches up. You will know you have mastered this law when the behavior of others no longer disturbs your peace. You will look upon the unkind with understanding, the doubtful with patience, the fearful with compassion. You will see them not as enemies, but as unhealed reflections of humanity's ignorance. And because you see clearly, life will begin to treat you with the same mercy. Say softly now, as truth rather than hope. The world reflects my faith in myself. I think well of others, and they think well of me. Respect flows to me because I respect the law. Let these words resonate in the silence behind your mind. They are not wishful thinking. They are commands to the subconscious, which will quietly adjust your outer world to match them. Soon you will find yourself walking differently, speaking differently, radiating calm assurance where once there was uncertainty. People will look at you with new eyes. They will say, something about you has changed. You will smile, for you know it is not something, it is everything. For when you master belief, you master reflection. When you master reflection, you master life. Part 6, the seed of certainty, how faith becomes material fact. There is a law older than the world and truer than any opinion of man. Faith precedes fact. Before any form appears, belief has already called it into being. Every building, every invention, every empire began as an invisible conviction held long before the world could see it. The cause of all creation is thought fixed in faith. The substance of things hoped for is faith made definite. Faith is the seed from which all tangible results grow. Just as a tree is hidden in the seed, your success, your peace, your prosperity already exist within the seed of your belief. But just as the seed cannot grow unless it is planted, watered, and left undisturbed, so too must your faith be nurtured and protected until its fruit appears. Say within yourself now, "My faith is a living seed and its harvest is certain." Speak it softly and let it echo through you. Each time you say these words, you remind infinite intelligence that you are cooperating with its law. You are not asking for favor. You are aligning with order. Every man carries two fields within him, the field of doubt and the field of faith. Both wait for planting. Every thought you repeat is a seed cast into one or the other. The field you tend determines the crop you harvest. The man who plants thoughts of fear must reap limitation. The man who plants conviction must reap increase. The soil does not judge, it only multiplies what it receives. This is the law of inner evidence, the spiritual arithmetic of creation. It declares that the moment faith is truly accepted, proof must follow. The unseen is always first cause, the visible only effect. To the doubter, this sounds like magic. To the wise, it is precision. Look again at the world around you. The bridge you cross, the lamp that burns, the book you read, each was once only faith in one man's mind. Edison's electric light was not born from equipment, but from conviction. Thousands called him a fool. He called himself certain. Each time the filament failed, he said not, "I am defeated, but I have discovered one more way that will not work." That is faith translated into method. His belief, sustained beyond reason, commanded nature to yield. You must come to think of faith not as a feeling, but as a command. Feeling wavers, faith decides. Feeling depends on circumstance. Faith creates circumstance. Faith says, "It is done," even while the world insists it is impossible. Faith is not blind. It is sight from a higher altitude. Say quietly, "I believe without proof, for faith itself is proof." Let that truth settle in you like calm water. Doubt asks for evidence before believing. Faith produces evidence by believing first. When you live by faith, you move from reaction to creation. The tragedy of most men is that they plant faith one day and dig it up the next. They declare belief in the morning and speak fear by night. The soil cannot produce under such confusion. Every act of worry uproots what confidence has planted. If you would see your desire become fact, you must let it grow without interference. There is a rhythm to belief. You plant by thought, you water by repetition, and you harvest by patience. Each time you affirm your desire is already fulfilled, you strengthen the roots of faith. Each time you question, you weaken them. Therefore, learn to guard your mind as carefully as a farmer guards his field. Each morning declare inwardly, "My results appear in divine sequence. I am patient, I am certain, I am guided." These words align you with the tempo of the universe. Nothing in law is rushed, yet nothing in law is delayed. The moment your thought and emotion agree in faith, creation has begun. The visible must follow in its appointed season. You may ask, but what of failure? What of those who believe and see nothing? To this I say, there is no failure in law, only incomplete planting. The man who sows one night and forgets the next has not failed. He has merely stopped working the law. Faith cannot produce through inconsistency. You cannot build a bridge one plank at a time and destroy it between attempts. Doubt is poison to creation. One moment of disbelief can undo days of progress. The subconscious is exact. It accepts contradiction as command. If you say, "I believe," and later sigh, "I fear," it obeys both orders, producing confusion in your affairs. You must therefore discipline your tongue as well as your thought. Never speak of failure, even in jest. Each word carries vibration. Each vibration shapes reality. When you feel fear, do not fight it. Observe it, name it, and replace it. Say calmly, "This too is a thought, and I command it to serve faith." In that instant, you regain control. Fear loses its grip when recognized as servant rather than master. Faith does not deny the mountain, it commands the mountain to move. When life presents resistance, the man of faith does not collapse. He grows stronger. Resistance is the signal that growth is near. The deeper the challenge, the richer the soil for mastery. Every adversity carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit, but only faith can extract that benefit. I have known men who, through the loss of fortune, gained wisdom that later produced wealth tenfold greater. I have seen others who, through illness, awakened to purpose and built legacies from what once seemed tragedy. The difference between those who perish and those who prosper is not circumstance, it is faith. One says, "This is my end." The other says, "This is my beginning." Repeat inwardly, "I no longer hope, I know." These words end all wavering. Hope waits, faith works. Hope looks forward to a better day. Faith declares this day sufficient. Hope pleads, faith commands. You must graduate from hope to certainty. The mind of faith is calm because it knows that unseen forces are already arranging the outcome. It does not count hours or days. It counts obedience. Each time you act in harmony with your belief, the law moves faster to reward it. The man who believes and acts is invincible. Faith must be joined with definite purpose. The man who believes vaguely receives vague results. You must decide precisely what you desire. Infinite intelligence cannot reward indecision. When your thought is definite and your belief firm, nothing can resist you. Say now, "My faith is definite. My purpose is clear. My results are inevitable." As you repeat this, feel your mind solidify. The scattered forces of thought begin to unite behind your purpose like soldiers behind a banner. Where once there was hesitation, there will be direction. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right." He understood the mechanics of faith. The man who thinks he can instructs infinite intelligence to align conditions accordingly. The man who thinks he can't instructs it to block every door. The law obeys belief without prejudice. To cultivate faith, you must act as though it were already complete. Speak, walk, and decide as the successful man would, not arrogantly, but calmly, with the assurance of one who knows. This behavior convinces the subconscious that the result is already real. The body and the outer world will then conform. Say quietly, "I carry myself as one who already possesses what I seek. Infinite intelligence fulfills through me." This is not pretending, it is partnership. Pretending is imitation without conviction. Faithful action is conviction in motion. Faith grows stronger through repetition of success. But the first success must come through repetition of faith. Each night before sleep, give your subconscious a single command in definite form. Tomorrow, every event moves me toward my purpose. I am guided and prospered, then let go. The subconscious will begin to organize events during your rest. You will awaken with ideas, impulses, and clarity. That is faith being translated into form. Andrew Carnegie once told me that he never made a single major decision in haste. He would write down the facts, state his intention, and then release the problem to his subconscious overnight. By morning, he knew. The answer always came, not through mysticism, but through law. His faith in that process was so absolute that he called it communion with the infinite. Faith communicates with infinite intelligence through calm expectancy. The anxious prayer is never answered, for it vibrates in fear. The quiet knowing is always answered, for it harmonizes with law. You must learn to pray not by pleading, but by claiming. The man who begs declares lack. The man who claims declares possession. Say softly, I already possess all that I seek, in substance and in law. This is truth, for all supply exists in spiritual form before it manifests in matter. Money, opportunity, companionship, health, all are organized energy awaiting direction. Faith directs. When discouragement arises, recall that every seed sprouts in darkness before it breaks the surface. You may see nothing. But that does not mean nothing is happening. Faith's evidence is inward long before it is outward. Keep believing, even when appearances contradict you. The test of faith is endurance without sight. When your outer world seems unchanged, ask yourself, am I still faithful? For if the answer is yes, your result is already forming. It must appear, for the universe cannot betray its own principle. I tell you with the certainty of law, once faith becomes your identity, success becomes your shadow. You need only walk steadily forward. The law will match your pace. Faith is contagious. As your conviction grows, others will feel it. They will be drawn to your calmness, your direction, your confidence. They may not understand, but they will trust. People trust certainty more than they trust logic. Your faith will awaken their own. This is why leaders of every age were men of unshakable belief. Washington, Lincoln, Edison, Ford, Carnegie, their achievements differed, but their faith was identical. Each believed first, and the world conformed later. Each saw with inner sight what others could not imagine. That is why they seemed to create miracles. They simply obeyed law while others doubted it. Faith, when perfected, becomes peace. The man who truly believes no longer strains. He ceases to push, he allows. He does not shout to prove his confidence. He radiates it quietly. That calm is the highest expression of mastery. Say now, I am calm because I am certain. I am certain because I am aligned with infinite intelligence. I am aligned, therefore my results appear. Let this affirmation dissolve all remaining tension. Feel your heartbeat slow to the rhythm of law itself. As you live by faith, your life will simplify. You will stop chasing results and begin creating them through order. You will waste no energy on complaint or comparison. You will know that what is yours cannot miss you, and what misses you was never yours to begin with. That knowledge is freedom. When you face challenges, do not ask, why is this happening to me? Ask instead, what greater good is being prepared through this? Faith turns adversity into training. Each trial becomes proof that the law still works. A man of faith walks through storms untouched because his thought is above the storm. He knows that infinite intelligence never withdraws. It only rearranges for progress. When one door closes, another has already opened. Faith simply waits to see it. Each morning upon waking, affirm, today I walk in calm certainty. Everything I require moves toward me in divine order. I am guided, supplied, and secure. These words, spoken with feeling, establish a vibration that carries through the entire day. You will notice that anxiety no longer finds you. You will meet difficulty with composure. You will speak less of problems and more of solutions. You will radiate peace so tangible that others will draw strength from it. They will not know why, but they will feel it. That feeling is the silent testimony of faith fulfilled. Faith does not beg, it expects. Faith does not hope, it knows. Faith does not struggle, it directs. Every time you affirm certainty, you reprogram the infinite machinery of cause and effect to serve you. Now I will give you the greatest secret of all. Faith and gratitude are one substance. Gratitude is faith after it has understood itself. When you thank infinite intelligence before receiving, you prove that you have already received in mind. And the law, being exact, must complete the form. Therefore, end every prayer, every plan, every day with gratitude. Whisper quietly, I am thankful that my faith is already fulfilled. You will feel a peace descend upon you, not from outside, but from within. That peace is proof that creation is finished in spirit. When faith becomes natural, miracles become normal. You will act with calm decisiveness. You will speak with quiet authority. You will walk with assurance that every step is guided. And the world, seeing your certainty, will assume you know something it does not, and you will. You will know that faith, once planted, never fails. Let these words become your constant meditation. I believe without proof, for faith itself is proof. My results appear in divine sequence. I no longer hope. I know. I am calm. I am guided. I am certain. And when you have lived this truth long enough, when faith has become your nature and certainty your breath, you will awaken one morning to find that the invisible has become visible, the dream tangible, and the word made flesh. Then you will understand that success was never something to seek. It was something to trust. And from that day forward, you will walk as one who commands law through the quiet power of belief. For faith, when perfected, is not effort. It is peace. Part 7, the quiet harvest. When law becomes life, there comes a sacred hour in the life of every man who has worked faithfully with the law. The moment when he no longer hopes for proof, because proof surrounds him. He no longer asks if the law works, for his life itself has become its demonstration. This is the hour of quiet harvest. It arrives not with trumpet or thunder, but with silence, the same silence that began the journey. You will not wake one morning to lightning flashing and wealth falling at your door. You will wake to a deeper calm, a sense that everything is already ordered, that you are being carried by rhythm rather than force. You will look around and realize that opportunities now come to you with ease, that men listen when you speak, that peace has replaced the struggle that once haunted you. That is law made visible. When the law has matured within, life becomes simple. You stop chasing results because you know results are only reflections. You stop explaining your vision because you understand that silence protects creation. You stop seeking approval because you are anchored in your own certainty. You have learned the language of power, calmness, gratitude, and quiet conviction. Say softly within yourself, I am at peace with prosperity. I no longer chase. I attract. I no longer beg. I allow. These words are not ambition. They are remembrance. For man's natural state is abundance. Scarcity was taught to you by fear. Prosperity is restored to you by faith. In the beginning, you planted faith in silence. You watered it through repetition, protected it from doubt, and nourished it with discipline. Now the tree bears fruit, not because of sudden luck, but because of steady obedience. Every harvest is silent, for the farmer does not shout the seed into growth. He labors in faith, waits in order, and gathers in gratitude. Let your success be the same. Do not announce it. Explain it or justify it. Those who are not ready will not understand, and those who are ready will not need words. Your peace will testify louder than speech. The light of your results will illuminate without noise. When others ask what changed, you may simply smile and say, I began to obey the law. The quiet harvest begins with recognition. You will begin to notice the harmony of events, meetings that seem guided, ideas that come at the exact hour of need, resources that appear precisely on time. This precision is no accident. It is law responding to organized thought. You have aligned your rhythm with the universal order, and now everything that belongs to you arrives without haste or delay. Say inwardly, everything I require moves toward me in perfect time and sequence. That thought is an acknowledgement of law. Infinite intelligence is never late, never hurried. Delay does not mean denial, it means refinement. You are not waiting on the law. The law is perfecting its delivery to your level of readiness. There is a great difference between the man who receives through law and the man who receives through luck. The lucky man gains what he cannot keep, for he did not grow to deserve it. The lawful man keeps what he receives because it matches his consciousness. If wealth comes before wisdom, it destroys. If wisdom precedes wealth, it multiplies. Therefore, be grateful for every season of preparation, for it guarantees permanence of reward. As you harvest, remember this: the law of increase never stops. Today's harvest is tomorrow's seed. The wise do not consume all their gain. They reinvest it in service, in faith, in the continued circulation of good. The moment you stop giving, you begin decaying. Prosperity is not a prize to possess. It is a river to keep flowing. Say quietly, my wealth serves life. My increase blesses others. My prosperity circulates and returns multiplied. These words are your protection against pride. The man who believes he owns his riches soon loses them. The man who knows he stewards them is entrusted with more. Infinite intelligence rewards humility, because humility keeps the channel open. As your world becomes richer, you must remain inwardly still. Do not mistake movement for progress or noise for power. The law works in silence, and so must you. The world will call you fortunate, but you will know that fortune is merely faith fulfilled. When you walk through your days with calm purpose, others will feel a strange assurance in your presence. They may not know why they trust you, why they listen, why they feel uplifted after speaking with you. They are sensing the vibration of order, the invisible music of law that plays through a mind at peace. That harmony cannot be faked. It must be earned. You will see that prosperity has little to do with coins and much to do with consciousness. Money, position, and recognition will follow naturally, but they will no longer rule you. You will understand what few ever learn, that peace is the highest form of wealth. The man who sleeps soundly, works gladly, and gives freely has mastered both matter and mind. Say softly, my peace is my wealth, my calm is my crown. When you repeat these words, you remind yourself that material success without spiritual order is poverty in disguise. The world may see luxury, you will see dependency. True prosperity is independence from fear, and that independence can be achieved with or without money. When the law becomes life, your actions will no longer feel forced. You will not labor for outcomes. You will express law through every decision. Your speech will carry authority, not from volume, but from alignment. Your hands will seem guided by invisible intelligence. You will sense when to move and when to wait, when to speak and when to remain silent. Each gesture will have purpose, for confusion cannot exist in a disciplined mind. In this stage, repetition is no longer practice, it is prayer. You will continue your affirmations, not to convince, but to maintain harmony. They will become the rhythm of your days, the quiet heartbeat of creation within you. Each morning, each evening, you will silently say, the law works through me continually, quietly, perfectly. The greatest men I have known lived this way. Carnegie, Ford, Edison, Lincoln, their outer achievements were only symbols of inner discipline. Each of them mastered silence. They thought deeply, spoke little, and acted decisively. They understood that power gathers in stillness, that wisdom requires solitude. The crowd chases noise. The master listens to the quiet voice of law. That same voice speaks within you now. It is the whisper of infinite intelligence saying, "Be still and know." Be still, not idle, but certain. Know, not with intellect, but with realization. When you reach that state, every question dissolves. You cease wondering how and begin knowing that. At this level, gratitude becomes your constant atmosphere. You will find yourself thanking life for things not yet seen because you feel their certainty long before they appear. Gratitude is not reaction. It is recognition. It is the soul saying, "I already possess in spirit what others still seek in form." Say now gently, "I am grateful before I receive, for I already have. I am thankful in advance, for law has fulfilled in the unseen." Such thanksgiving is the highest act of faith. It seals the circuit between idea and result. When you live in gratitude, the law can never withhold, because gratitude announces readiness. Your success, now steady and sure, will begin to influence others, not through instruction, but through vibration. You will find that those around you are calmer, kinder, more inspired. Without realizing it, you have become a transmitter of faith. Infinite intelligence works through you as example, not sermon. Do not interrupt that process by boasting or seeking converts. The silent demonstration of principle changes more lives than 1,000 speeches. When others ask the secret of your peace, smile and say, "I learned to think in order." That is enough. The law needs no advertisement. Truth speaks for itself. As the months pass, your prosperity will become natural, no longer a surprise, but a condition. You will wonder how you ever lived in fear of lack. You will realize that abundance was never something you had to chase. It was the natural reflection of an organized mind. The anxiety that once accompanied each bill or challenge will fade, replaced by calm assurance. All supply flows to me from infinite intelligence in perfect time. When the law becomes life, you will understand that there are no small acts. Each word, each thought, each gesture is a seed. You will handle everything with care, not fear, but reverence. You will speak less of what you need and more of what you can give. You will notice that what you give always returns larger because the channel of increase cannot remain one way. Say softly, "I give peace, and peace returns multiplied. I give faith, and faith surrounds me. I give increase, and increase flows back." These affirmations are not ritual. They are recognition of motion. You are now part of the circulation that sustains creation itself. The quiet harvest also brings humility. You will see that every success was not truly yours alone, but the expression of law through you. You were the instrument, not the source. This realization